Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to a very special bonus episode of the Basic Dude podcast. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. Another person who I appreciate is Mr. Jennings over at Kilo Foxtrot Fitness. If you are in need of some personal training, a diet plan, a fitness plan, a all-around plan, head over to Kilo Foxtrot Fitness on all the social medias. You can find him there: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Yelp, you name it. Or go over and see him in person in Bellbrook, Ohio, at the Gem City Holistic Wellness Center, where you can train with him in person. But yeah, if you are in need of services of that nature, I implore you to get a hold of my good friend James. He would be more than willing to help you out. And also tune into his podcast every Tuesday morning at 5:30 a.m. Called the Keep Fighting Podcast. He's got some good value in that in his message or messages, and just a positive guy that wants to make sure that people are on the right track and develop good habits and live a fulfilling lifestyle. So, anyway, moving on. As a young man, just graduating from state college with my associate's degree in diesel technology. The first gift I was going to give myself was a brand new Snap-on Toolbox. I had it. I spent months going through the catalog, and for those of you who are fellow mechanics or technicians or whatever, I spent quite a while. It's when the Epic series first came out, which was some years ago, and they were going to be the top of the line, most badass Snap-on toolbox you could get your hands on. And with that comes a great price, of course. Because, good things aren't cheap and cheap things aren't good. And occasionally I'm the buy once, cry once kind of guy. Not often, more my wife, but, when it comes to things that support me and my family and that I use to make a living, those things are important. They come up at the top of the list, and I don't mind spending money on that kind of stuff. So anyway, I picked out my color, my trim, drawer liners, drawer topper, banks, how many banks, if I was going to have the power bank. I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, because as a mechanic, one of your best tools, well, I guess one of your biggest investments is your toolbox. And, that's where you keep your tools that you need to do your job and keep them organized and keep them safe and dry and clean and, tucked away so that way hands aren't, digging through your tools and wandering off with them. Depending on how far you go, it's your work center, it's your snack cabinet, it's many, many things, right? So, really, the toolbox is the brain of the mechanic world when it comes to tools. With that said, on this bonus episode, I'm going to release this before the other one because I realize that I'm tomorrow's episode is going to be good. It's just I wanted to put this out first because tomorrow's episode is about a tool. And with this month being September, we are in the suicide prevention awareness month. The best way to prevent suicide is to make sure that you are mentally healthy. So with that said, we'll dive into today's episode. I digress a little bit. Before we get started, I just kind of want to give a little update. It got into the house yesterday, went and did some shopping with the wife on FaceTime. That was interesting, as we are, I'm down south, she's up north, so we have to find ways to make things work. And yeah, yesterday threw her on FaceTime, went to a couple stores, got some stuff for the new house, so that way I can live in there while they're still, the wife and kids are still living up there, and when they get ready to come down, we'll have some new stuff in the house, and don't need to pay to move, maybe some worn out or old junk. But anyway, yeah, and then this morning I was rudely awakened by the fire alarm going off in our building, which was a false alarm, and apparently I was the only one in this building at this so-called resort I'm staying at that came outside. And then to make it even better, no one was around to shut it off. So yeah, that was pretty annoying on my kind of one day that I was going to be able to sleep in here. But anyhow, we'll push through. I took advantage of getting up early to, it's almost 9:00 now at the time of this, and yeah, I've already done my grocery shopping for the day, so knocked that out. And then, as this being my last day on the West Coast, or my last free day, I guess, on the West Coast, I'm going to take advantage of that. Stop and grab me a pub sub, if some of you know what that is, and pack a cooler and head over to the beach and do a little shelling and just hang out for the day. So I guess all in all, maybe God was telling me it was time to get up because you got stuff to do. I don't know. But Sundays are my big self-care day, as many of you may know. Usually cook some good food, get some responsibilities taken care of, and get ready for the week, and do all my medications and stuff. And yeah, just kind of spend the day just kind of chilling out and being semi-productive, I guess we'll call it. Being productive is not at the top of the list, but I try to get some shit done. So anyway, yeah, ready to move over next week to the East Coast, where we'll be permanently living. Really excited about it. Got some, got some decent stuff for the house. Still going to be kind of empty, but it's a process. But I'm all right with that. I'm not really home all that much anyway. So that's the whole idea. Living down here in Florida is to, in my opinion, not be home. You want to be out at the farmers markets and the beaches and the festivals and the, sightseeing or tourist areas, or the local areas, all that stuff. So, not a big deal. Don't plan on spending too much time at home. Anyhow, all right, I digress. I think I've rambled on enough for right now. Anyway, let's hop in here to today's message, today's episode. Yeah, we're going to be talking about, just like when I got done with college, building my Snap-on Toolbox. Not endorsed by Snap-on, by the way. Yeah, we're going to build our mental toolbox today. That's what we're going to do. And then what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to do some bonus episodes. I mean, we're at the beginning of the month here, so we got a lot of tools in this episode, and I'm going to go ahead and do some other bonus episodes and break each one of those down for the month of September, because it is Suicide Prevention Month, and we need to make sure we're mentally healthy and can handle life, because too many people, especially men of my age, sadly make a permanent decision to a temporary problem. And it impacts the world. It impacts your family and your friends and your coworkers. Even the people at the gas station that you stop at a couple times a week to get coffee. We notice when things aren't right or people are missing. So It is a epidemic in this world, not just this country, but this world, that men, middle-aged men, I guess early 20s to all the way up until 40s. Don't quote me on that exactly. Have the high suicide rate, especially veterans as well. So what my mission is this month is to give you some tools to make sure that you're fucking okay. We as men, I've discussed before, brotherhood and everything else, even though whoever's listening to this, I may have never met you. I don't know who you are. We may never have talked, emailed, DM'd, or, anything. Never interacted. But it's my personal responsibility to make sure that my fellow men, through my message and through this podcast, are okay to carry on every day with their life. I feel it's my personal responsibility, and I think that it's every man's personal responsibility to make sure that we check on our people and we make sure people are okay. So let's get started here, because I still have breakfast to make. So anyway, today we're going to talk about building our mental toolbox, and here's why this matters. Life will test you. Sometimes it's big challenges, the loss of a job, a relationship ending, health problems. Other times it's smaller daily stressors that quietly pile up: bills, work deadlines, family responsibilities. Most men are told to tough it out, grind harder, or just deal with it. But nobody really hands us the tools for how to handle stress, emotions, setbacks, or even how to process what's going on in our own heads. Think about it this way. If you were working on your car and you didn't have the right tools, you'd get frustrated, maybe even cause more damage. But when you've got a well-stocked toolbox, the job gets easier. Same thing with your mind. So today, I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step process to create your own mental toolbox. Practical, actionable tools you can use in real life. By the end of this episode, you'll have a set of strategies for awareness, focus, emotional regulation, building resilience, and connecting with others. Emotional regulation is a huge one. I suffer from whatever ailment. I won't get too specific on some things that I feel or have been told that I have, but definitely I think that my generation, which is going to be the earliest millennials, and probably the generation before, we were not taught how to emotionally regulate, which has made my life incredibly difficult. But anyway, it's something that I'm learning now, and I'm investing the time in. But yeah, I think that's a big one. Anyhow, no fluff, no theory for the sake of theory. This is about giving you things you can use today. So let's get into it here. Every toolbox needs a foundation before you start adding advanced tools. You need the basics that keep you steady. For the mental toolbox, that foundation is awareness and grounding. Why? Because if you don't know where you are mentally, if you can't notice what's happening in your body and your thoughts, you can't do anything about it. So tool number 1, the pause and breathe check. Or pause and breath check, sorry. This is as simple as it sounds. Anytime you feel overwhelmed, angry, or even just distracted, stop, take 3 deep breaths, inhale through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 2, exhale through your mouth for 6. I can't remember, and I think it was Rodney Dangerfield. And it was a movie, and I can't remember the movie, but this sticks in my head. And I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was Rodney Dangerfield, and he's standing in his bathroom, looking in a mirror. I know it's some comedian standing in a bathroom looking in a mirror, and they're standing there saying to themselves, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What the fuck is wrong with me? So whenever I get like stressed out or whatever, I just or like frustrated, that like pops in my head for some reason. But make up your own thing, I guess, if you want. Anyhow, this sounds basic, but here's what it does. It signals to your nervous system that you're safe. It lowers your heart rate, it brings oxygen to your brain, and it interrupts the spiral of stress. Tool number 2, grounding with senses. This one is about pulling yourself out of your head and into the present moment. Try the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. Name 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. Why use this? Because anxiety and stress live in the future. Regret and guilt live in the past. But power lives in the present. This tool brings you back here, now. Tool number 3, daily check-in. I've done a whole podcast episode on this. Once a day, ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Where do I feel it in my body? And that's it. Maybe you notice tension in your shoulders. Maybe you feel drained. Maybe you feel restless. Just naming it is the first step toward managing it. Men often ignore their own internal state until it explodes. This check-in prevents that. So in your foundation toolbox, you've got the breath check, grounding with senses, and daily emotional check-in. These tools are like the hammer and screwdriver, simple but essential. All right, now that you've got the foundation, let's move into cognitive tools, the tools that help you work with your thoughts. Our minds can either be our best ally or our worst enemy. Most of the suffering we feel doesn't come from reality itself, but from the story we're telling ourselves about reality. So let's add some tools to reshape those stories. Tool number 4, reframing. Reframing is simply choosing to look at a situation from a different angle. Let's say you didn't get the promotion. The automatic thought might be, I'm a failure. Reframing it could be, this is feedback, maybe I need to sharpen some skills, or maybe it's just not the right fit. It doesn't mean lying to yourself. It means widening your perspective so you don't get trapped in one negative interpretation. So with that, like reframing, right? So when we're really angry and stuff, it's kind of hard to step back and take a minute and kind of look at things from a different angle. Or if we're in despair or in like a high anxiety state, it's hard to do that. So that's why the first 3 tools that I just gave you, that's going to calm you down and bring you into the present moment. So that way you can use reframing to look at things in a different state. When we're angry or like hyper aware, our brain is not going to allow us to step back and reframe things. Tool number 5, mental decluttering with journaling. That's tomorrow's topic, actually. Think of journaling as emptying the junk drawer of your mind. Spend 5 to 10 minutes a day writing down whatever's in your head. Worries, to-dos, frustrations. Once it's on paper, your brain doesn't have to keep juggling it. You don't have to be a writer. Nobody's grading it. This is about release and clarity. Tool number 6, the what's in my control filter. When something's stressing you out, ask, what's in my control here? What's out of my control? Then put your energy only into the first list. Worrying about things you can't control is like trying to push back the tide with your hands. This tool trains you to let go and redirect your focus. So tool number 6, what's in my control? So that's, I read The Daily Stoic every day by Ryan Holiday. It's a book where you read 1 page a day. And Stoicism is basically, largely on this concept. Basically worrying about what you have control of and forgetting about what's out of your control. I think for a lot of people, especially with some anxiety issues, depression, things of that nature, we can't rationalize this. I think this is probably the biggest tool that maybe somebody with those issues might need, because what that's going to do is it's going to allow us to kind of eliminate some things that, we usually get worried about things that we can't control. That's, at least from my perspective, that's my biggest worry. And maybe it's a control issue or not, but it makes me even more upset to to not be able to control things that are directly affecting me. So sometimes we need to write a list and kind of check those things off. These cognitive tools keep your mind sharp and prevent it from working against you. Now let's talk about emotional tools. For a lot of men, this is an area where we struggle with the most. We were taught to suppress, ignore, or man up. But emotions don't disappear when you push them down. They resurface, often as anger, anxiety, or burnout, and also depression. Tool number 7, naming the emotion. This sounds simple, but it's powerful. Studies show that when you name what you're feeling, I'm anxious, I'm frustrated, I'm sad, your brain reduces the intensity of the emotion. It's like shining a flashlight in a dark room. Tool number 8, regulation through movement. Emotions are energy. When you're angry or anxious, the energy builds up. One of the best tools is movement. Go for a walk, do push-ups, lift weights, stretch. Physical activity discharges the emotion so it doesn't sit inside you. One of my kids, they have a lot of anxiety. They walk a lot, like 26,000 steps a day. Like anytime I am at home and they're not there, they're either one of two places, at work or on a walk. I don't know how they do it, but yeah, they walk a lot. And this is their way of dealing with their anxiety, their problems. And it's good for you, Tool number 9, setting boundaries. This one's tough, but it's essential. Boundaries are about protecting your energy and your mental health. It could mean saying no to extra work, setting limits with family, or taking time for yourself without guilt. Think of boundaries as the lock on your toolbox. Without them, everything gets stolen. That's a good way to put it. I have a very hard time with this one. I may say no about something and then I get immediately angry because I feel extremely guilty because I feel like I should do that. So yeah, that's another tough one for me. These are hitting a certain way today, I guess. So in this section, your emotional tools are naming emotions, regulating through movement, and setting boundaries. All right, now let's get into action tools. These are about habits, routines, and discipline. The things that build momentum and stability in your life. Tool number 10, morning ritual. I love my morning ritual. I cannot live without my morning ritual. Start your day with intention. It doesn't have to be fancy. Maybe it's 5 minutes of stretching, journaling, or planning your top 3 priorities. The point is, you start your day on offense, not defense. I totally agree. I just had this discussion with my wife yesterday, and I said, I don't know when I turned into the guy who gets up early and, has this whole thing. And I figured it out when she was working at a big box store. She used to have to go in by 5 a.m. So she would wake me up at 4:15. So that way I was up, so that way I could get the kids ready for school when it was time for them to get to school. But I had like hours in between. So I just basically, and back then, that's when I started getting up early and seeing the value in being up early and like starting your day off calmly, right? And having everything in place. I had some pretty bad habits back then, and I've changed and grown as a person, but, I would smoke probably 3/4 of a pack of cigarettes before I even went to work, so that's a bad habit, right? And I would spend time just sitting on sitting on my phone, scrolling, doom scrolling, or looking at Facebook. And now I've replaced that, or YouTube. I love YouTube. Now I've replaced that with, on YouTube, I only watch things of value, things that teach me. I do a men's Bible study every morning, just a quick passage. I read my daily Stoic book every morning. I do a Spanish lesson every morning. I have my coffee, I take my meds, I pack my lunch, I get dressed. And you know what? I start the day with no stress at all. So morning ritual, morning routine is extremely, extremely important. Tool number 11, micro habits. Big goals often fail because they're too overwhelming. Instead, focus on micro habits. Want to get fit? Start with 10 push-ups every day. Want to read more? Commit to 2 pages. Micro habits build identity. They prove to yourself, I'm the kind of guy who follows through. It could be as simply, a great place to start, I think. I was having some issues before, and I thought that taking vitamins would help me. But the issue is you're adding something into your new routine, so that is like a micro habit, making sure I take my multivitamin every day before I leave the house. And then it just grows from there. Another great thing is Mr. James Clear. In my opinion, a very brilliant guy, but he has a book called Atomic Habits, and he also has an app also to help you develop new habits. Tool number 12, the 80% rule. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Instead of trying to do everything perfectly, aim for 80%. Whether it's diet, workouts, or productivity, showing up consistently at 80% beats burning out at 100%. These action tools keep you moving forward even when motivation is low. All right. No man is meant to do this alone, yet one of the biggest struggles men face is isolation. That's why your toolbox needs social tools. So tool number 13, building a support system. Who are the men in your life you can be real with? If you don't have them yet, start small. Reach out to one guy you trust and check in. Brotherhood doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with one honest conversation. Tool number 14, practicing direct communication. Say what you mean and mean what you say, instead of bottling things up or dropping hints. Practice being clear and respectful. I need some space right now. I appreciate your help. I can't commit to that. This tool reduces misunderstandings and builds respect. I think that I have a hard time doing this one because I don't want to disappoint people or I don't want to upset anybody. So I can kind of be like a yes man sort of. But again, if I say no, I get angry because I feel guilty and then I look like a dick. So, I think practicing direct communication is a great tool. Tool number 15, asking for help. This is a hard one for me. This is the hardest tool for many men, but it's a strength, not a weakness. Whether it's talking to a mentor, calling a friend, or seeking therapy, asking for help is like borrowing a tool you don't have yet. These social tools prevent isolation and strengthen your resilience. Excuse me, I needed a drink. Oh, all right. We're almost to the end here. I know I guess we're not. We're running a little long. We're only 30 minutes in. Okay. Finally, let's load up your toolbox with resilience tools. The ones that help you bounce back when life knocks you down. Tool number 16, stress inoculation. Think of this like training. Expose yourself to manageable stress, cold showers, tough workouts, fasting. These controlled challenges build your tolerance so real-life stress doesn't overwhelm you. Tool number 17, perspective shifts. When you hit a setback, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Most of the time, the answer is no. This tool helps you zoom out and not let small things ruin your peace. Tool number 18, gratitude practice. Every night, write down 3 things you're grateful for. It sounds cliche, but it rewires your brain to notice the positives instead of only the negatives. Gratitude doesn't erase struggle, but it balances your perspective. These resilience tools keep you steady through the storms of life. So let's recap. Your mental toolbox now has foundation tools. So we have breath check, grounding, daily check-in. Cognitive tools, reframing, journaling, control filter. Emotional tools, naming feelings, movement, boundaries. Action tools, morning ritual, micro habits, 80% rule. Social tools, support system, direct communication, and asking for help. Resilience tools, stress inoculation, perspective shifts, and gratitude. That's 18 tools you can start using today. You don't need to master them all at once. Start with 1 or 2 that resonate. Practice them until they become second nature. Then add more. The key here is this. Life is going to test you. That's guaranteed. But with the right tools, you don't just survive. You grow, you lead, and you thrive. So my challenge to you this week, I want you to pick 1 tool from each category and practice it daily. Write it down, track it, and see how it changes your mindset. Thank you for spending the time with me today. If this episode helped you, share it with a friend, a brother, or anyone who could use a stronger mental toolbox. Again, as this month is September, we really need to bring awareness, which I think we need to bring awareness every day, to suicide prevention. This is, again, a huge epidemic in the world, and it affects me and my fellow men the most. Sadly, we are at the top of that list, and we need to spread awareness daily. We need to check on our people. So, in addition, well, I guess I've already done that, but in addition to this, I want you to spend some time quietly by yourself, and just kind of take these tools and assess yourself, see where you're really lacking, so that way, you can excel. You can excel. The faster our mental health improves, the faster we don't have to worry about bad shit happening. Right? So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Check out the YouTube, the TikTok, Instagram. I don't really do a whole lot on, but I'm trying here. I did get back with the videos, just like I said I was going to. Took a little time away to get some stuff straightened out, but man, life sometimes is just really overwhelming, and I guess being a responsible adult is setting aside our hobbies or our joys, to get shit done, right? I gotta do my responsibilities first, unfortunately. So, anyway, thanks for listening. Have a great week. Have a great week. As always, or a great rest of your day. Enjoy your Sunday. Get some relaxation in. Do some shit for yourself. Smoke some meat. I guess football's back. I'm not a football fan, but if you're into that, then I guess enjoy. Or take some time, get outdoors, take a hike. I don't know, plant a garden. I don't fucking know. Find something to do today. But anyway, the other thing that I want you to do is I want you to be the man you were meant to be.